but I forgot the basics of the game. I started, becoming more desperate, and I thought, went too far ahead of myself. I thought, this IPL I'm going to dominate everyone. But the moment IPL started, a few games which didn't go my way, and my mindset completely dropped to the other end. I was eating anything that came in sight. I was finishing, candy packets, 40 pieces a packet. I would finish 3 packets a week. I was eating horribly, sleeping horribly. My habits were all over the place. And I finished IPL. I remember I went home, came out of the shower first day, and I saw myself in the mirror, and I was ashamed. It was literally, I saw myself and I thought, I'm looking at another human being, and I told myself, look, if you want to play cricket at the highest level, this is not the way that you can manage. And from next day onwards, I changed everything about my diet, the way I trained, everything, and from then on it was just an obsession. You know that playing at this level over a long period of time, you tend to go into a space where you become a bit insecure, you become fearful, you want to prove to people how good you are in different conditions. And to be honest, before that Australia tour, I was treating every foreign tour like, more like an engineering exam that I have to pass somehow, and I have to show people that I can play at this level. But there I realized that, once you're down and out, there was hardly anyone who came to help me. There was hardly anyone who was looking towards me and saying, listen, let's work together and try to get your game up to speed. Everyone was just going after me left, right and center. So I was like, am I playing to prove these people wrong? For what? I've got nothing to do with them, and they literally have nothing to contribute in my life. So I went back home. I was down for quite a bit. The great thing that happened at that stage was I realized who was with me, who was not. Things were filtered to an extent that I just got so relaxed. When I went back home, I was like, okay, I've hit rock bottom now. No one believes in me. Everyone thinks I should not be playing Test cricket. So what can I do? I can just work as hard as I can. Went into a bubble. I went to Bombay as well. I called Sachin Tendulkar. I asked for his help. I said, see, I want to get my game right. I want to understand what it's like to score runs at this level. My mindset was simple. I went back home. I told myself, listen, you can't play Test cricket to show people that you can play in England and play in Australia and not get out. And if you don't score, it's no point. You play this game to make your team win. So my mindset was, I'm going to go to Australia, and how am I going to score runs against these guys? I wasn't going out there to survive. And from the time I got back home till the Australia tour, I promise you, I was visualizing every day when I was working out in the gym that I'm hitting Mitchell Johnson, I'm hitting these guys all over the park. And those things came to life eventually because I convinced myself to an extent. When I went there, I was absolutely fearless and things just started flowing. The background of my journey is not many people know about the background of my journey. I've been speaking to and consulting with the same coach since I was 8 years old, since I stepped foot into my cricket academy, which I learnt everything from. My coach Rajkumar Sharma, I still speak to him now, and I was speaking to him a couple of days back. And your perspective in life changes every now and then. As I said, with fame, with money and with success, there are too many people who become close to you, and you tend to sort of forget from the core of your heart who you really are. But this is the guy I've always been. And the beautiful thing about my journey from a young age group has been that I was part of an academy where no one was talking about that academy or that club. So for me, the only way up was, if someone's getting 100, I have to get 200. Otherwise, no one's going to notice me. And I had that fire inside me all the time. And that's exactly what I did to come up the ranks. I scored so many runs that people could not ignore me, because that was my only driving force. And that actually came from the example that my father set for me. There was a time in my life where there was an opportunity. I was selected for under 14 Delhi team, and then I was dropped at 1 a.m. because of some complications. And what happens in state levels. Someone was preferred over me because of some compensations that were done and stuff like that. So same was offered to my father as well, that if you can, maybe he can get into the team after 2 games. So my father straight away said, I'm not going to pay a single penny to make him play. If he can play on his talent, so be it. If not, it's not meant to be for him. So that stuck with me for life. And I've always relied on myself and what I can do as an individual first. And then I'll take help along the way. And people who have been willing and open to help me and understand who I really am have been the ones that have been closest to me. So this natural, when my back is against the wall, there's only one way for me, and that's forward. And I will do everything in my power to fight my way up again. These are the times that make you realize that this is exactly what you're meant to do. And everything that happens in your life from here on are going to be through this source called cricket. So the whole journey, the kind of matches that have happened, the kind of knocks that have happened, the kind of moments that have happened that people have looked and said, wow, I want to do the same. It's literally me making an impact on other people through this game. So that's when I realized this is my journey, and I need to do things in a very organic and a very, very pure way. Because when you watch it on TV, you can tell the difference between someone trying to fake it or someone playing with heart, and you obviously want to repeat the same. I saw that in my heroes. So I thought, look, this is exactly what I need to do in life. There was not even a moment of doubt. Before that Australia tour, as I pointed out, honestly, I mean, if you had told me, anyone who would have known what I'm doing in those sessions leading up to the Australia tour, where I was visualizing taking on probably the most dangerous bowler in the world at the moment, Mitchell Johnson, and someone would have told me, you're a fool, that you're literally going in there and wanting to get under his skin or taking him on straight away. But for me, there always have been two options for me. Either it's fight or flight, and I've never taken flight.
Or flight.
I've never taken flight. For me, that's just not because look, I can take flight if I can't sleep peacefully at night. For me, it's not worth it. I might as well take the fight. If I fail, I know that I took the right option, and that gives me peace. For me, when I leave the field, as I just said, I need to be able to know that I've given everything I had, and I sleep like a baby. There is nothing else that can distract me then, because in my potential as a human being, God has blessed me with a healthy mind, healthy body, an opportunity which everyone wants. So I have to be honest to that. I have to live up to that. So for me, these things are just a process, just a part of the process, which is you keep moving forward. You keep taking the positive option. Whether you get success or not, that's irrelevant, but never take a backward step.
But it's only when you really put out all the distractions on the side and believe in yourself, you can do something which is not perceivable for people on the outside. So that was a big lesson for me. And even till today, if any youngster comes into the team, my first chat to them is about the same thing. It doesn't matter whether I've played 100 test matches or whether you've played 2. If on the day your mindset is better, you will perform better than me. The game gives you no guarantees. So never feel like you're not good enough because you've not played so many games. If you are confident enough, you can get 100 compared to a guy who's played 400 or 500 international matches. That's how you realize that how you adjust to that level very quickly. It took me a bit of time, but that was quite a revelation for me, which I always carry through in my career.
Look, when I step onto the field, I have to believe that I'm the best, because my mindset, as I said, was very clear from the first time I started playing this game. I'm not going to allow anyone to think that I'm just a pushover on the field. It's not to disrespect anyone, but it's belief in my own abilities, that fine, you have the ball in hand, but if you get it wrong, you're getting hit for runs. And I'm going to stand here all day. If you get me out and you bowl a great spell, hats off to you. But the next time I'm going to be here again. So make sure that you bring your A game. And that's the mindset that I try and get into invariably. Because look, at this level, people are going to eat you up. If you show them any vulnerability or fears, they're going to eat you up. So for me, I just have to be as fearless as I can. And even if I get out, I want to get out on my terms. If I get out in confusion, it bothers me a lot, because I just don't like the feeling of not knowing what's going on. I might as well make a silly mistake and know this is what I need to correct. Everything else is fine. So I don't go, as I said, I don't go out there anymore to prove anyone wrong. But I put myself in a position where I want to do special things. I want us to win special series.
I know you're a big fan of Ronaldo. What do you like about him?
The thing I admire about him is that he's probably had people, I won't say disliking him, but disregarding a lot of what he's done over the years, and just his mental strength to just keep going, just being the best in the world. I agree, Messi probably has more natural ability, but for this guy to do what he's done day in, day out, and to keep that kind of discipline, to stay at the top of his game for 15 years, it's, for me, that is the epitome of professionalism and discipline, and what mindset can do to an individual. Every time he plays, people know that something special could happen, and that's what I admire about him. You, as cricketers, you go away from practice, you spend a lot of time in your room, in your own surroundings. So the surroundings have to make you feel relaxed and calm as well. Somehow I don't like things, just thrown around, and I like to keep things in place, in order. Similarly with my kit bag, with my stuff in the dressing room as well. I just can't see my stuff being thrown around. I like a bit of structure there because it makes me feel aligned. It makes me feel relaxed, calm. That, you know, again, that's part of my process as a human being. Am I being respectful to my surroundings as well? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do, or am I treating the dressing room like a garbage bin that I can throw everything around? No, that for me is unacceptable. I draw my own boundaries and I make sure that within that I keep everything clean and nice. If you told me I had to walk away from this game tomorrow, I can walk away without any regrets, because everything that I've done since I entered the Indian cricket team has always been for the team. Has always been from the point of view, how can I improve this environment that I'm a part of? The reason why I reach out to these guys is because I don't want them to waste probably months and years of my life that I wasted as a youngster still trying to figure things out. When I found out the formula for success and what it means to compete at this level, I want these guys to pick it up early so that the transition with Indian cricket can be very smooth. That don't let these norms of playing 30-40 games and gaining experience fool you. Because even after 80-90 tests, if you're not in a good frame of mind, experience counts for nothing. You're still going to nick the first ball into slips. So this is a game that has to be played in the moment, and you have to play one day at a time. And as long as you're fulfilling your potential on that day, that's all that matters. So that's exactly why I go into that space and I talk to them about the things that I did wrong when I came in. Don't play for, proving people wrong. Don't play for stuff that does not matter, which is England tour, tick mark, Australia tour, tick mark. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Were you in the right head? Did you step onto the field absolutely fearless? If you did and you're failing every innings, no problem at all. It was just not meant to be for you. But don't play for the wrong reasons. So that's what I try and strive for with the younger guys stepping in. Yeah. Well, I think my father, firstly, was a very punctual man. And then my coach as well. For him, not being on time was absolutely not accepted. There was no tolerance for that. So 6 a.m. practice means I was there 5:45 every morning. I'd probably sit there, wait for the fog to clear out, and then start knocking balls before everyone arrived. That just became a norm for me. Even now, when I have the opportunity to go into the gym early or come to practice early, I would take it with both hands, and it's just become a habit for me now. And also, I think the more busy you get, especially when you have to do commercials and stuff, I like to reach on time and I like to leave on time. It should not filter either way. So I think it's just become a part of my life now. Test cricket is tough. I mean, even when you're one of the top teams in the world, or probably the best test team in the world over the last few years, you can still go into a space where you probably don't want it. At certain stages you feel like, for 5 days, do I want to do this again? So you really need to be absolutely honest with yourself. Are you ready for the hard grind? Are you ready to wake up on day 3 when things are absolutely stacked up against you and go out there and bowl difficult spells for the team? Or when you know that you are in trouble, as a batting unit, are you going out there to get that 100 or get that 150 for your team? It's going to be tough. Things are going to stack. You probably have to do it for 5-6 hours over a period of 2 days. Are you strong enough to do that? So I think honesty, firstly, looking at yourself in the mirror, whether you want test cricket or not, and if the answer is yes, then you just go after it relentlessly.